Genesis FM, London.
Okay, you'll know who it is now. Genesis 91.6, 916 on the FM dial. Afternoon. Most definitely. Oh yes, it's Minsta Rebel back in the house again. No, I ain't died. No spirits ain't come for me. No bad man ain't take me out yet. Most definitely here to give you the information. Because the time is now. I want to wake up. Time to wake up. Okay, London City, time for me to have a little chat with you. Remember, if you have faith and you're content with your faith, no offense is meant by any of the things that I said on the True Light Show. Just don't listen, man. Don't listen. You don't have to listen, but you know you have to listen. Remember, don't believe anything you hear. Check it out for yourself. That's the most important thing. Remember, this will not stop. The master teacher will release information on top of information, and it's a never-ending thing. Remember, your thing is perishing because you had your time and you've done nothing with it. Your God wasn't there to help you in any way. He only exists inside of your head. He's not out here because I can say anything I want and nothing won't happen. There is no lightning from the sky to take me out. And nothing, absolutely nothing he can do. Nothing. Okay, all those people preparing fish today, why are you preparing fish? What for? How did fish fit into this story of Jesus, okay? Was it when he multiplied the fish to feed the multitude? On this day, Good Friday, you see, the day they nail your white hippie, blonde-haired, blue eyes, Jesus to the cross. Where the fish come into the story? And is that good? Okay. Well, let's say it's good to murder your God, because he got murdered by a group of Romans, you get me? And then after that, okay, what did you say? That he dead for, was it 3 days and 3 nights? I don't think so. Saturday's Friday, they nail him to the cross today. Bang, 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 bang. Ah, dead. Boom. Take down off the cross, put into a cave, and he rises on the Sunday. Now, who does the calculations to say it was 3 days and 3 nights? Come on, just like Jonah in the belly of the whale, 3 days and 3 nights. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, today's Friday, and to Saturday will make 1 day, and Sunday will make 2 days. So, you know, somebody's got it wrong. It's a joke, innit? Somebody can't calculate. They need to learn simple mathematics. And let's go on. Now you got BC before Christ, AD Anno Domini after the death of Christ. Okay, so you go down from like 2000 BC down to 0. All right, counting backwards. Then you go 1 AD. All right, good. BC before Christ, AD after his death. When was he alive, according to your calculations? You see, the people that set your religion were dunce at maths. You understand? And they gave you a concept of like, well, let's bring it down BC down to 0, and then you go 1 AD, all right? So you got BC, 1 AD. When was Jesus alive? Phone me in the studio on 0705008746, because what you take as holy is absolutely a joke, and your book's a joke. You understand? It's all a joke. Anybody tell me what Easter is? Is Easter written in the Bible? Easter? What does that word mean? Okay, I'm going to give you some more, man, but let me just change the music, because I like the music playing in the background. 1 minute. Okay, I don't really care, you know, you had a little pause there. I don't really mind, because it's about delivering the information, and you're going to get it whether you like it or not. And a lot of you, I know you don't like it, but guess what? It was not meant for you, okay? You are of your father, you serve your father, you are of a different light, an amber light, and you do your father's works.
I am always asked, why am I here? I am always being compared to the other Nubian leaders that take you nowhere. It's confusion. They teach illusions. It's just confusion. We have come a long way, yet we are nowhere. We have many Nubian teachers out there teaching illusions.
Okay, this wasn't the track I wanted to play, but we're just going this way, you know. This is the master teacher.
We need sound, right reasoning.
Naya,
We need facts.
Malachi, Zadok, York, El,
I don't-
Maku. Yes, another name, Maku. How about that one, huh? You don't like that, huh? He changed his name again, huh?
Sound proud.
But how much facts do you have to jump over to complain about a change of name, which you don't understand?
What to do. Don't you? They teach confusion. It's an illusion. They need the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and a right understanding. They all understand without a plan. They all read what the man teaches. They all believe, but don't know. They become his creatures. They're like leeches. They need wapo. They teach illusions. It's all confusion. We gotta get it right. We gotta stop the fight. Listen to the music and how they use it to control the children's mind, making them Frankensteins and how you whine and dine. It's all illusion. You're so confusing. Your crowd pleasers. You false leaders. You're trying to bleed us. Why you mislead us? Down the path, the road that goes nowhere. You try to teach our little children about some fair. You give them the myth. It's nothing but tricks. It's such an illusion, and it's so confusing. You call it the truth, and you trick the youth. You say you will save us if we're with you. But then we find out you're reading a book written by the Jews. It's called the Bible, or the Quran. They're in languages that you don't even understand. You're so confusing. It's such an illusion. What are you hiding? You say you're here to guide us, and yet you divide us into many sects. It's all so complex. It's so confusing. It's such an illusion.
We have been isolated from God to
prepared to do so. They're born psychic now. That's why they're stealing your babies and robbing their pineal gland and taking your melanin.
the presence of the divine mind that you call God begins to burn.
Listen to them. All of these people, you know, they are backwoods people. You get me? You might recognize some of the voices.
You see me on with, I don't wear it. It belongs to my followers. They keep
Very dunce, ego-tripping niggas.
they just want me to look like it.
One thing that I promise I'll never do, I will never mislead you, never.
We are.
Because I will be misleading my children. This is the stuff that I will teach to my children.
If we're from the black,
And I won't don't mislead nobody, so because you can't play games here.
Black people.
So what the rest of the people doing? Why are they playing games? Because they talk to their wife and their children and their children's children. And if there's a lie, it has to die. I don't care how much you are offended, it has to be done.
Our prayers
Listen to these idiots, you know?
said and allowed or either silently, and we have to recite portions of our holy book.
And if you could name any work prior to the Jewish writers and name any source Adam and Eve is mentioned, or the prophets mentioned before the Jews, please let me know.
I think the brother Senator do a nice show, huh? Run some groove rhythm tracks, huh? Enough respect to the Senator. Have a safe journey home.
The heart, the core.
The driver, if you're listening out there, come to the studio, call 070500878426. Remember the students that I was studying the information now, grab a pen and a piece of paper. Coming up after the music, take from the master teacher.
According to the New York Times on September the 26th.
Supreme being on the planet Earth. Nobody can't test. None of the leaders that don't address him pretend like he's not there. I would do the same. You know, like I know some brothers say, I don't listen to that True Light show. But when you listen, you're going to hear facts, man. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Organizers of this
except the facts.
conference today, and I bless them.
Now listen to yourself. That's nobody else. You sound rehearsed, and things are getting worse. It's such an illusion. You're all confused. You're being you, and some of you knew it, even though you tried your best not to show it. You read the tablets, and you read my scrolls, but you're willing to lose your very souls. I'm the one that was sent to you.
Where'd you help?
Tell me what you want.
On Genesis FM, the station that's educating today's young generation.
So you got fish, bun and cheese in your house today, some hard-old bread, maybe making some coleslaw, huh? What for? What for? Tell me what for. Your God's the, I was going to say dog, but I was wrong. Your dog is... People can murder your God, innit? People can kill him, innit? And that's... Okay. Remember now, this character Jesus has now changed to a lot of different people, because some people say that their teacher is the Christ and stuff like that, or the teacher himself kind of subliminally wants to tell you that he's Christ. Now, I remember I watched this documentary once, and there was a sister, a good, Nubian sister, totally misled. She said how she saw Selassie come off a plane, and when I look, I see the nail prints in his hands. Okay, so when when Jesus, your Jesus, is going to return, will he still have will he still have the holes in his hands, the nail prints, and 7 white doves floating around his head? 7 for 7. Now, this is meant to be a Christian country, and you have your Christian celebration, Easter. Would somebody like to tell me where this word Easter comes from? 070500870426. Okay, and there's a group of beings out there that when I do a show and I open up the phone lines, they don't phone in. No. As soon as my show is done, they want to talk afterwards, but they can't address it because what are they saying, Everybody knows this is the facts. You keep looking on the floor when I pass you by because you know this is the right thing. Because if it was the right thing, guess what? I wouldn't be in it. I would not I would play it on the air. I'd chill out in my bed, do what you're doing now. What you lot doing now? Listening to the radio? I'd do some of that too, man. What for, huh? Why would I do this? I would never do it if it was the wrong thing. Never. But now we're living in this day and time, because I was born just like you were. I was a child just like you was a child. But I couldn't understand if there's only meant to be one God, then there's only meant to be one set of rules and one curriculum. Now you tell me how comes there are so many and how could you tolerate that? But you did, didn't you? It was okay for you to be in your one and watch the other man and you really not care about other people's souls, even if they don't. You really didn't mind because you know that you lot were all rubbish. You understand? All of it was rubbish. Your books, your gods, they don't exist. Do you understand? This is what exists. This is real. This is the only thing real to you right now. Because right knowledge covers all of the facts. The master teacher covers every subject under the sun and above the sun and beyond and some. And if you've got a little time this afternoon, remember there's a brand new bookshop down on Lehigh Road. Okay. Check it out. You'll see it. Holy Tabernacle Ministries shops Chris with every bit of information you'll need for your soul. Okay. And those creatures out there that are misleading people's souls for their ego's sake, for the sake of their ego. You mean to say I was thinking this was right all the way along and this bread I come up here and just blow it out and they're not having it? They're not having it. You're not going to budge. And you want to mislead people's souls like it's a game? Continue to play because you will perish. Okay? This will grow and grow and grow and grow and never stop growing because this is all there is. No wow. And the master teacher bringing you right knowledge, preparing you for Tammuz as we go. Now, tape today, brand spanking new. The tape is called Let's Set the Record Straight by Makul Naya Malachi Zadok York El, Supreme Grandmaster on the planet Earth with supreme information for the upliftments of your soul. As we continue the mind cleansing process on Genesis, let's set the record straight. The tape is entitled Little Green Men, because we're talking about extraterrestrial stuff now. And a lot of people like to take the mick out of that subject. I don't believe there's no aliens. I don't believe there's no extraterrestrials. Now I'll ask any narrow-minded, tunnel-visioned punk to disprove that there's life in the universe for me, because I can present to you untold information of life out there, videos, books, people that have been abducted, that have operations and scars, and it's all there beyond the stupid, dunce medical people that they have on the planet Earth here. That it's just beyond their comprehension. They can't even comprehend it. I can at least show you something like the pyramids and the Naturu. You know, the Naturu that is in the doctrine of Egyptology. You explain them. Olive tongue, green, Naturu. Explain them, because you like to go back to Africa and Egypt. But what about the Naturu? Explain where they come from. Explain. Explain where the angels come from. Explain. At least I can show you something. You know, even in your books, you've got the Crystal City, the will within the will, Ezekiel saw. It goes on and on and on and on. You know, what about Moses? Was it a cloud by day and a pillar of light by night, leading them through the wilderness? Explain. Because you cannot. Oh, it's the spirit. Huh? Hey, that's all over. It's all over. Wake up, man. All right, so you can't disprove nothing. You can only show me your dumb opinion, and you got a dumb God anyway with dumb information, and it don't make no sense. Doesn't make no sense, because you can't disprove it. Because you come down in about 3 seconds. That's about as far as you're going. And if you pay your money and go on a plane, that's about it. You can't go nowhere, so you only got your opinion to know, well, is there life out there? Did my dumb God create all these planets and this big universe and just leave us here? You fool. Set up backward. Listen, 070500874426. That's the number of the Gen 1, all right? 070500874426. Hold tight, the OG Briggy. You know we're not going to mislead their souls. Never do that. Never. 070500874426. Grab a pen, a piece of paper. Don't believe anything you're going to hear now. Go and check it out. But do so with everything else. All right? We need the facts and proof and evidence. It has to go that way. Now here we go. Maku Naya Malakai Zodok York El. Okay, Little Green Men. Let's set the record straight. Peace.
This series of tapes, Inflammation versus Misformation, were recorded from classes given this year by Dr. Malachi Z. York, known to us as the Supreme Grand Master Naya Malachi Zoduk El, our own Pharaoh, Amanubi Ru'akatar. And now, listen with an open mind and heart as our Grand Master inflames you with only the truth. Allow your inner light to flow again and stomp out misformation with only the facts. And now, listen to the Supreme Grand Master Naya Malachi Zoduk El.
Rahubay. Yes, in the corner. I don't answer questions from the tablet. I have private classes on that. See, my philosophy on the tablets is I want everybody to study the tablets for at least a year. Because I listened to a brother ask a question, right, today, from up there, and the answer is already in the tablet. The question they asked about Luna is in the tablet. The question they asked about Cannon, whether he was born in the ark or out, is in the tablets. All these questions I asked them on the internet, send me the questions about the holy tablets. And all of these questions are answers. Every one we've gotten so far are in the tablets. It's just that people are opening the tablets and they're reading a certain part and they're going, I'm stuck. And then they go and say, well, let me ask you a question, so you will elaborate on that. And I'm like, at least read the manual before you try to put the bicycle together. That way, when you do come to me and ask me questions, you will have covered thoroughly enough that you'll know that there's an error there, or I can say, well, that's a typographical error, because y'all do know we have made it public that when we had the Holy Tablets printed, we sent it out to Texas, because we were trying to get it done before Savior's Day, and they sabotaged it. They left verses out, changed words around, and they did it purposely, but it was done. The follow, so we have sat back down, and it's been made public that I've gone back to the whole Holy Tablets. Within the last couple of months, we're doing it every day, and we're adding in all those errors and shifting things back to place so we can have it printed ourselves again. We're trying to get it out again before Savior's Day. So it's difficult to address those kind of points, because you might go to a point, I say, oh, that's one of those things, they switched around, and I have to give you a whole a lecture or something I'll download it. We was in the internet this week. Was anybody in there when we was there? This Thursday I was in the internet with everybody, and we was addressing the Holy Tablet. I said, okay, I'm going to give you all the benefit of the doubt. I will answer Holy Tablet questions. And I had to go back and show them with all the things they were asking me already right there in the book. And I would show the book, and they would say, oh, I got it. After months of harboring the lunar problem instead of them realizing there was 2 moons, they think that you said lunar broke off from here, and it's right in the tablet 6 it tells you. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me let everybody digest it. And by Savior's Day, we'll start with chapter 1, verse 1, explaining this holy tablet. But here's the problem. Another book has come through. Right? It's as thick as this and more detail. By the time you get here, you're going to be going to another whole book. They're sending information that's been long lost in time to come back. If I'm saying, I'm telling you, there's another book called the Black Book that I started to, if you was on the internet, I gave you the chapter and verse. I started to send a verse to it, and I said, whoops. I held it back, and I just answered the question because I didn't want to put it into the internet so the devil can get out on it. Until we get it to your hand. So I get to you, don't worry about it. There's nothing that I've been sent here to tell you that they're going to ever be able to prove wrong. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. And that's the real deal. Go ahead. It's not as difficult as most people think. The first thing we told everybody to do is, as in all historical events, it's time to make an exodus to a certain spot, like a designated place, whether it was the children of Israel or the Sumerians or the Hopis or the Trail of Tears. People who were scattered tribes started gathering in certain areas. It always happens right before a great event. The great event is happening now. If you walk out here at sunrise tonight when the sun is apparently set and look up, you'll see the 3 stars moving across the sky. We watched it come over, and it's lining up over the firmament. And every certain amount of days, every 70, it recycles and goes over. These are ancient prophecies that must take place, but you must gather, they tell you. The souls of the people must gather, because it's that combination of souls that send that energy for the realignment. You follow what I'm saying? So we told people 5 years ago, when we was up in Jazir Abba, and everything was very beautiful up there. Anybody was up there? Everything was set. But when they said it's time to go, regardless of the houses and the land and the pools and everything, regardless, we jumped up and we left everything. We left our houses, we left everything, and we came down here and started from scratch. But many of people here or there said, I'm not ready yet. They wasn't ready to rough it with us. You know what I'm saying? They want to come here once it's finished, and they walk into a furnished apartment, with a quilt, and lay back and say, now I live on Kadesh. But they don't want to do as the children of Israel did when they had to go into the wilderness for 40 years and suffer. They don't want to do as the children of Ishmael did, and the children of Midian did, and the ancient Egyptians did, and the Sumerians did, the Mizraimites who left and went over to that land and lived and suffered and scraped and burnt bridges, you see. Because as long as that bridge is behind me, I'm going back across it if something gets tough on this side. But if I burn them bridges, when I get on this side, I look back, I ain't got but one choice but to make this work. Whether it's raining, snowing, or hailing, I got to make this work. Because I can't get back across the bridge. Throw alligators in the lake. In other words, with people. Man, give everybody such a hard time. When you get on this side, you can't say, Mama, I don't like it. I'm going home. No, niggas want to keep the ties in New York and in Chicago and in Trinidad and Jamaica. They want to keep these ties. And then come here with me and say, I hope what you're saying is right. When I say, I'm not a hope man. Everything I told you happened. Everything I told you to look for happened. This is not a place where people believe their craft. This is a place of people who saw the craft. That's why we gathered here. We're not people who have a doubt of whether or not there's some extraterrestrial involvement. Our doubt was, how do we stay religious with the reality that there's extraterrestrial involvement and is not mentioned in the books we say we believe in? That's where our problem came in. Our problem came into reality faces belief and fiction. And as a devout Muslim my whole life, it was very difficult to flip open the Quran and scan and scan and scan and scan and don't see craft, but have seen craft. Ain't no accident all across the country, all out the country. People see the same beings. Some little village in Switzerland that doesn't even have a radio station or a newspaper, and people are coming to town and saying, little 4 feet men with big eyes. And then over in Australia and in Saudi Arabia, where it's a Kaaba and millions of Muslims go make salat every year, over there people are seeing extraterrestrial craft. Now down in Gulf Breeze, New Mexico, and then they push, this one place, Roswell, to take everybody's attention off the reality. Now they got everybody talking about Roswell and whether or not that's authentic. And what about the millions of sightings that are going on today? What about people that are being abducted and coming back and going under hypnosis and telling the same story, describing the same being, saying they got the same treatment, they got scars on their body, probes taken out of their body, pictures of craft throughout Mexico. They actually sat back with home cameras. We had it on a film last weekend. And just thousands of people in Mexico just took pictures of metallic craft, stuff like this. Not light zooming across the sky, but you can say, well, that could be this, could be a meteorite, could be this, could be this. Actual craft. You understand? And then when you come back as a religious person with religious convictions to Christ, Muhammad, or whom or whatever, and you don't find it in your holy book, and if you go to your reverend or your preacher or your pastor or your imam or your Kohan, and you ask them about it, they tell you you're crazy because you are the signaled out individual in your church who had the vision, who saw the craft. The majority of the church is so spooked out or so caught up in it they won't admit it that you look like a nut. And the preacher can turn around and say, well, that kid there's a little strange. He thinks he sees little green men. The concept of the little green men are stamped in your head by the media, by television, by cinemas, by the movies, as you call it here in America. So that when I say, I saw a little man, they say, you're a little green man, right? And I can't continue my story without looking like I'm crazy. You follow? So we're the people who've had the real experiences. People that know something is getting ready to happen. We're the people that are psychic sensitive. We feel something ain't right in the air. Regardless of whether we were Christians, Rastafarians, Muslims, Jews, Catholics, whatever we were brainwashed into. We took the time to investigate our own feelings and set aside our beliefs. Set aside our religious convictions. We re-investigated the holy books that we had on our mantelpiece, where a reverend sat there and told us what we should think, how we should think it, what each thing means. And we stopped and said, wait a minute, let me ask a question. When I started asking questions that the reverend couldn't address, I became a blasphemer. In Islam, when I turned around and asked simple questions, did Muhammad ride some type of camel creature to heaven or not? And if there is, what species is this camel creature? Don't get mad at me. Have the learned men of Islam explain it. That's easier. Don't get mad at me and call me a demon because as a child I maybe read the Quran and see word buruj. I'm a hadith actually. Buruj. What's buruj? I'm a kid. What's buruj? I want to know. So someone said, say, yeah, okay, well that's blessed. Right? Someone said, well this is a creature, a gleaming white creature, the size of a mule, with their ears are dragged to the ground, that Muhammad sat on in the night of Isra and made an ascension to a place that didn't exist yet. Masjid al-Aqsa didn't even exist then. And he flew there on a donkey. So, listen, for all intensive spiritual purposes, for the mutasawwif of the Muslim world, I will accept that he traveled in time and space and saw the Masjid al-Aqsa in the spiritual realm before it was conceived on earth. right? But all that falls in the realm of belief and faith, not reality and fact. Now, as long as I'm a belief and faithful person, that's a colorful story. But when it comes down to reality, I want to know what species this creature that flies through the sky belongs to. Is it the white horse that I see on the front of the movies and MCM movies? I've seen the white horse with the wings. But I've never seen a white horse that looks like a mule or a donkey in reality in any circus or zoo or logged in any of the species of this planet. So where the hell did it come from? And what is it? And I get mad because I ask. I get met with astaghfirullah, you kafir, munafiq. You gotta be I even become shaitan. They go so far as to call you shaitan himself. I am the shaitan. Because I'm the devil. I was back there arguing with them in Adam's time because I got a question. Y'all niggas are really uptight. Y'all like 9 on the tension scale in this place. How I'm going to deal with that? I can't even ask you a sensible question before I become the devil. And as we who have been sensitized by forces, that means they made me and you sensitive. They made me and you inquisitive. We had to be walking along the street, minding our own business, and a book gleamed off of a table with some brother standing out there with whatever costume. This book catches your eye as you walk by you. And you say, what is this? What is this crap? What do people believe now? Mellow who? Mellow what? Mellow what? Who? What is this guy? God. They're not goddamn God. And when they say he ain't no God, you know what they're doing? They're coming from their interpretation of God. They don't ask you when you say Malachi is God, what is your definition of God? They go right to their church or their mosque and say, stop it all of them. They go mumbling on down the street calling you Shaitan. And they say, well, excuse me, have you ever seen a picture of a pharaoh in Egypt? They go, yeah. Did you know that they were considered gods? Yeah. It's not a black thing. Because Julius Caesar was considered a god. You know what I'm saying? That's what we mean. They can't even begin to conceive common sense and logic because they've been washed in faith and belief. You hear me? But people are gathering all over the world that are aware that there's something shady about belief. And that's the word I dwell on every week. And you know why? Like I said many times, because once I can get you to believe something about somebody, I can damn near make you do anything to them. If I can come in here and say, see all these people gathered in this place here? Yeah. They're a cult. They're a cult because they don't believe that Jesus Christ is their personal Savior. That makes them a cult. See the guy there in the front? Yeah, he wants to make everybody commit suicide. Now, why does that work so well in Christianity? Simply because the God of Christianity committed suicide for you. So you can readily identify with Jesus willing to give his life for you. So if you're a Christian, the doctrine of suicide works well with you. And this is why the first thing they say about every group of people that's organized in this country who do not belong to a Christian denomination is they're a cult, and then it's followed by a suicide cult. But Christians are the ones who are suicidal, because every cult in this country and in Guyana and every else who ever committed suicide on a massive scale were Christians. Because it's in their doctrine to be willing to die for someone else. It's not in our doctrine. You hear me? It is also not in the Pope's doctrine. Because that nigga be trying to live. And I don't give a damn if you get mad. The Pope is trying his best to live. That nigga got a bulletproof Pope-mobile. You hear me? I want to know. I've been asking this question. I ask this question every week. I want to know if the Pope is God's best friend, him and God is tight, why don't he want to go visit God? Why is he trying to teach me that I should want to die and go return to God when the Pope is ducking his ass off? They made him a new Pope-mobile when he went to Cuba with a lid on it. See, the old Pope-mobile, he could stand up like this here and do this. Word up. But the new Pope-mobile, he's sitting down doing this. Now, am I this true what? If he is so close to God, and I know as good as the Pope is, when he died, he got a direct ticket to heaven. He will not pass go. He don't need the $200. He's going directly to heaven, right? Mother Teresa, with all that beautiful stuff she did, she got a direct ticket to heaven. Mother Teresa had 6 collapses and pulled through. And they'll tell you when somebody that age has a collapse and falls through, they got to want to live. After they'll tell every one of us who had relatives who were old in the hospital that had a seizure, they say, that problem with you, they got to want to live. The family got to give them that desire to live. Well, if Mother Teresa pulled through 6 of them suckers, she had to really not want to see God. If the Pope is riding around a bulletproof Pope-mobile, he don't want to meet God. But he's teaching me to want to go meet God. Billy Graham collapsed 4 times while giving a lecture. Just went, oh, boom. And God didn't catch it either. Billy Graham hit the floor in front of thousands of his followers. It was on television. No angels came out the sky and grabbed his ass. Homeboy hit the concrete. Took him to the hospital, put all kind of tubes in him, pumped him back up. He was back out teaching again. Billy Graham should have woke up, pulled the tubes out, and said, I'm on my way, God. Because the Bible says that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. And no one gets to the Father but by him. On the way down, the Pope was supposed to say, I'm on my way, Jay. And they make that sound like blasphemy. He's making fun of the Bible. If the Bible was infallible and factual, I couldn't make fun of it. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, you wouldn't be laughing. You know why you're laughing? Because it's frightening to think about it. That's the real deal. That's why when we hear facts, the only thing we can do is laugh. Because if we don't laugh, we don't know what we might go out there and start doing to people. You understand what I'm saying? So now, here we come along, and we came a long way. And we the people that say, we don't care whether you're a Christian or a Jew, a Muslim or Buddhist, I don't care. But if you start messing with me, trying to convert me to your religion, I'm going to tear you a new butthole. Long as you don't bother me, I ain't going to bother you. We can come out here on Kadesh and party together and dance together and have a good time. But if you say, well, let me tell you a story about the Lord Jesus Christ, I'm going to say, hold it. I'm going to warn you now. I'm going to do the Holyfield on you if you do this. I'm saying I'm going to step to you because I'm not the man you want to start an argument with. I got a lot of sons and daughters out there that will take you through it gradually. You understand? But you don't want this straight right I'm going to hit your ass with. You understand? Why? You know why? Because when you deal with facts, fact after fact, people can't handle the truth. And they turn around and get mad at you. And I just say, you asked for this. I wasn't bothering you. Come on to Kadesh, walk around the pyramids, pray to whatever you pray to, the way you pray to, and let us do our thing. But if you step over that borderline and step into our business, then we're going to have to clean your ass up. And we're going to do it with facts. Give me a Bible. There we go. We got one too, huh? This is why I don't have no time. I'm going over this for y'all people. Why do y'all use this? I got to use this so I can each week take you a little deeper into why this is bullshit. So this is where it all lies. You hear me? In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Who's talking? According to Christians, this is God's holy book that he personally wrote with his own finger to Moses. I'm talking about at least the 5 books. Correct? So this should say, in the beginning, I created the heavens and the earth. But it doesn't say I, it says God talking away from himself. So now the question is, who's talking? Let's keep going. And the earth was without form, and void and darkness was upon the face and the deep. Now this person is talking about a formless earth, but at the last part he says the face of the deep. As you say in Hebrew, Seyum Moyum, the surface of the deep. The deep is called water, Yem, sea, the deep blue sea. Are you with me? Now, you got to stay in the mind frame to get this here, all right? And the earth was without form. The earth is the ground part, Eris in Hebrew, the matter part. It had no form. There was no mountains or streams to stand on. And void and darkness, boho and toho, they say, was upon the face of the deep. Check that out. Now, where was this person looking from? They had to be looking from one direction to see this. Look what it says. And the Spirit of God, or the Elohim, moved upon the face of the water. So this person was in the deep sea. Now, no angel could be doing this without God's permission. And no Christian Jew or Muslim ever said an angel wrote that book. They say this is written by the Yad, or the hand, Yad Elohim, the hand of God. And they wear on their neck a Jewish symbol like this. And that is the Hebrew letter Yah, right? For hand. They say his own hand carved it. You with me? So to them, God wrote this Bible. Is that right? They call it the Word of. I want you to keep that frame of mind so you can see who's talking here. It's important. Next verse goes, verse 3 says, and God said, let there be light. This is not God talking. Someone talking about what they heard God say while they were in the deep blue sea watching God move across the water. He heard God from beneath the water say, let there was. And it says, and there was light. He's talking about what God, he said, and he saw God, and God said something, he said, let there be light. And damn, it was light. And God saw, he now is watching with God, so God, he had to see God do this. Walk it. I ain't kidding. And God saw that the light was good, told. And God divided the light from the darkness. So God first looked at the light and said, and then he said, and divided it. Somebody's watching this happen, man. That's what the Bible is. They're looking at this in progress. 8:5, I mean. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning was on the... He didn't say God did that. He figured it out himself. Look at it again. He didn't say God did that one. He saw the light and day. He said, it's got to be evening and morning. So this person understood the motion of the sun around the planet before the sun was created. Because the only way you can get night, day, and evening and morning is the so-called motion of the planet around the sun. But there was no sun yet. Now, how did he see that? A vision from beneath the water? 7. And God said, oh no, 6, sorry. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. He created a separation in the waters. Check that out. And let it divide the waters from the waters. Come on, Rev. Come on, Imam. The hell does that mean? That God made light, separated night, evening, and dark, and then made 2 waters. Separated water from water. Where? How do you separate water from water? The earth was still without water. They said they never said there was any form to the earth yet. And Muslims believe this because they say they believe in Torah. They say Torah is kalim Allah. It's the word of Allah. Oh yeah, it's been tampered with whenever it doesn't match the Hadith or the Quran. Anytime you talk to them and something don't match, then oh, that's been tampered with. You ain't telling a person who was Hafiz for the Quran. I know better. Talk to someone who don't know the language. The Khan, as they call it. All right, let's go. Where we at? 8. And God called the firmament heaven. Stop. And there was evening and morning was on the 2nd day. So now, water's up there and water's down here. God divided them that way. Now, what is that? Where does that fit in your lifestyle, in your normal daily atmosphere? Evening and morning is there, something. Night and day is there. Where's water up there and water's here? That's ascending water. You follow? Misty water goes up to form clouds and comes down as. They got seasons happening already. And somebody, don't lose the point, somebody is watching this. Somebody is writing what God is doing and listening to what God is saying. And it ain't God himself. What verse we on? And God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, cloud. And let the dry land appear. Now what? That means while all this was taking place, there was no dry land. Water was covering the whole planet. And at this point, dry land appeared. So whoever is writing does not walk on dry land. Whoever is writing breathes underwater. Because we then covered somebody observing the creation before there was any place for someone who breathes air to walk. You understand? Somebody is breathing from underwater. Let's see what happens here. Watch the story. And God called the dry land earth. Can I go back a minute? Okay, because God just called the dry land earth in verse 10, correct? However, in verse chapter 1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Something wrong here? There was already an earth. It says earth in chapter 1. It says earth in chapter 2. And it's already... I'm not supposed to notice this. I'm supposed to sit up in church and gobble up the book and never notice this. And if I question this, then I'm a bad guy. I'm supposed to go on century after century and read this crap. And I'm not supposed to ever get intelligent enough on my own to see if it makes any sense. Now that don't make sense. And I'm going to put my soul in your hands and sit around and pray in the church and wait with you for the judgment day on this, based on this. No. Call me anything you want, but you can have this. I don't need this. I can do bad on my own. Anyway. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herbs and yielding seeds, and the fruit trees yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. Again, somebody's monitoring this plant. God's now a gardener, planting a garden. Right? You watching this? And the earth brought forth grass and herbs and yielding seeds after its kind. And there were trees and yielding fruit, whose seeds were in itself, after its kind, and God saw that this was good. He had to wait for it to happen to see that it was good. He didn't know ahead of time that it was going to be good, because God said, let it be light, and then God saw that it was good. He didn't know when he created light it was going to be good. If he did, he wouldn't have to say that.
Okay, got hooked up on the telephone there, all right? Sorry about that. Did you enjoy the first half of that tape? Did it inspire you? Did it touch the divine in you, or was you angered by the truth? How can you be angered by the truth? The truth may offend you, but it's the truth, you know? Just get to deal with it, you know? All right, I know I blow your God out the window when you think, oh, it leaves me with nothing. No, it doesn't. It leaves you with the God inside you to grow. Because I know that's a problem. God gets blown out of the water. What do I do? Inside of you, that's where it's at. Didn't he blow the breath of life into you? Then you became a living soul? Without that, you're nothing. So that's where it's at, okay? All right. In the meantime, just sit back and relax and listen. I'm going to give out, grab a pen and a piece of paper, which you should have already. Now I'm going to give out the question and answer classes round and about the capital, and also the bookstores, all right? Sit back, relax, and listen, and here we go. Okay, my questions were, you remember my questions? Where does this word Easter come from? I don't see it in the New Testament nowhere. So could some Christians follow up and tell me where Easter comes from? Why are you all cooking fish today? Today they bang, nailed, you know, the nails, man, big nails, you know, were nailed into his hands. What's that got to do with fish? And what's good about it? Why the hard-dough bread? Why the bun and the cheese? You know, come on. I think it's the baker's birthday and, you know, the fishmonger's birthday. They could shut up shop early today. Okay, like I was saying here, brand new bookstore, HDM bookstore, 57, that's 57, Lehigh Road, Lewisham, SE13, 57, Lehigh Road, Lewisham, SE13, telephone number 0181 318 6995. That's 57 Lehigh Road, Lewisham. That's the HDM bookstore. Okay, so if you're not ready for the classes yet, and you want to know further information on the master teacher and what he is teaching, Wabu, Science of Sound Right Reasoning. Remember, the time is short and it's ticking away, and you can feel it within. Okay, and remember, each and every Monday down at the Albany, that's in Deptford, off of Deptford High Street and Watson Street, the Albany Empire, room 21, question and answer classes on right knowledge, room 21, between the hours of 7 and 10. Come on, driver, hurry up, man. Just waiting for the arrival of the driver in the studio. Okay, question and answer classes each and every Wednesday. The Simba Center, 237 to 239. That's Uxbridge Road, Shepherd's Bush, W12. Telephone number 0181 838 5999. Remember, you're praying to your dead God and he can't answer none of your prayers. He does nothing for you, absolutely nothing. Remember that. Don't say I didn't tell you, because you can see it for yourself. Each and every Sunday, Willesden, in Willesden Library Centre, 95 High Road, Willesden Green, NW10. Telephone number for further inquiries 0468 144 696. Class is held between the hours of 7 and 10. That's each and every Sunday at the Willesden Library Centre, 95 High Road, Willesden Green. Also, each and every Sunday between the hours of 3:15 and 6:15, Wednesday between the hours of 7 and 9:30, question and answer classes at Unit 25, Eurolink Business Centre, 49 Effer Road, Brixton, SW2. Telephone number down there 0171 733 4045. Okay, that's each and every Sunday between the hours of 3:15 and 6:15. Wednesday between the hours of 7 and 9:30 at the Eurolink Business Centre, Brixton. Remember, on the Sunday there's a social evening straight after. You can reason with the members of the United Moabian Nation of Moors, Holy Tabernacle Ministries. Okay. Also at Unit 20.7, Aberdeen Studios, the Aberdeen Centre, 22 to 24 Highbury Grove, Islington, N5. Telephone number for further inquiries 0958 sorry, what was that? 0958 306 014. Okay, that's each and every Sunday between the hours of 4 and 7:30. Wednesday between the hours of 7 and 10. That's at Unit 20.7, Aberdeen Studios, Aberdeen Centre, 22 to 24 Highbury Grove, Islington. Also, question and answer classes. No, we got no. That's enough question and answer classes for now. We go to the bookstores. Unit 11, Indoor Market. Okay, that's 231 Seven Sisters Road, Tottenham, N5. Telephone number down there for further inquiries 0181 803 0284. That's at Unit 11 Indoor Market, 231 Seven Sisters Road, Tottenham, N5. Okay, also the main bookstore, 25 Brixton Station Road. Okay, that's Brixton SW9. Telephone number down there for further inquiries 0171 978 8321. Okay, that's 25 Brixton Station Road. All right, Brixton, check it out. Also, remember the main. Also, there's another bookstore, 57 Lehigh Road, Lewisham. Telephone number 0181 318 6995. And hang on there 1 minute. Okay, at Unit 63 to 64, Agora Indoor Market, 137 to 139 Rye Lane, Peckham, London, SE15. That's a bookstore down at the Agora Indoor Market, 137 to 139 Rye Lane, Peckham. Telephone number for further inquiries, 0171 277 9793. Also at Unit 105, Broadway Market, 7 Longmeads Road, Tooting, London, SW17. That's a bookstore at Unit 105, Broadway Market, 7 Longmeads Road, Tooting, London, SW17. Also, there's a bookstore in Fulton Heath. I haven't got the address with me at the moment. If anybody out there knows it, give us a call. Other than that, I'll give it to you on Wednesday night, most definitely. And it goes on and on and on and on, doesn't it? Okay. Remember, comments and suggestions on the True Light Show. You can email me on wrwec@westminster.ac.uk. Or alternatively, JHU 7764861. That's JHU 7764861. Punch it in, send me your email. Those Nubians that have access to computers and stuff, you can do so. Alternatively, you can call me 24/7 on the 0374 231 658. That's 0374 231 658 24/7. And to the people out there misleading people's souls, how do you feel when you get the truth, huh? Does it dent your pride? Does it make you want to fight with more venom? I like the fight. I was made for this fight. It's nice to be right. Okay, the telephone number of the studio is 07050 87426. We're going to go up into the part 2 of the tape by Maku Naya Malachi Zadok York El, Supreme Grand Master on the planet Earth. Tape entitled Let's Set the Record Straight, Little Green Man. We're going into the part 2 straight after the music. Okay, so grab some refreshments, chill out on this Good Friday. Ain't it a Good Friday because we're on, huh? And we're setting the record straight. Okay, Christian mathematicians, remember my question? BC before Christ, AD after his death, or Anno Domini. When was he alive? Could you please tell me? And also, if he dies today on Good Friday, and tomorrow makes 1 day, and Sunday makes 2 days, how is that 3 days and 3 nights, like Jonah? Please tell me. 0705 0087 The other day I was listening to some fools trying to educate the people, blowing out the Bible, saying the Bible's rubbish. Hey, I agree with that, but there's some truth in there. But the Bible's rubbish. Yeah, I agree. And then he goes, yeah, but Jah the Father looks down upon us, and he's always with us. Jah, the God of the Bible, but you blow out the Bible. You need to really wake up, man. But I'm going to address you soon, so I'm just watching for now. Now, here we go. Take by the master teacher Makul, Little Green Men Part 2. Remember the telephone number for further inquiry is 0705 0087 Here we go. Right. Driver, hurry up, man. All right? Come on, driver. Put your foot down. You're meant to be the driver, man.
But he's doing an after-fact thing. Grass grows. That's good. That's what every farmer does. Plant something. If it grows, that's good. If it don't grow, he said, that's bad. Is that right? I ain't playing with the Bible. I'm showing you what it says, like it or not. I'm your brother. You've been listening to them other people tell you this for years wrong. Let me try to straighten it out for you. And I'm reading to you in English, but I can do this in Hebrew also. Right? Don't let nobody fool you. I ain't coming from this King James. King James wasn't even a Baptist. He was an Anglican, and here you are a Baptist to my King James Bible. Now, go read up on the Anglican church and see what they did to Baptists. You know? What was that? 10? I thought I was further than that. Thank you. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmaments of the heavens to divide the day from the night. I thought he already did that. Didn't he just do that? Somebody forgot. But let's go on. Let's go on with our soul here, you know? And where is it? Where was that now? 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Didn't God just grow something back here? Don't things grow seasonally? Is this another mistake? How can you have a season created after you had a season? So God is doing things, looking at them, and naming them the same way I would. I'd make a car, look at it and say, automobile. Mobile. Automobile. If I get in the car and I turn the key and it starts up and I drive away, I say, this car is good. If it don't move, this car is. The point I'm reaching at, and I can go on, is who is making these statements? Who's doing this? Who's explaining this story? Who's talking about God? Who's watching God? Who is under the water looking up, monitoring God? No, not the devil. Let me show you. Because in Genesis chapter 3, the same person talks about the devil. Genesis chapter 3 verse 1 says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. So that ain't the devil. Here's someone talking about the devil now. Over here, there's an identity. It says, check with us, and this is also in Genesis chapter 3. Should be around 15. No, I'm wrong. Yep. Yeah, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. This is what this person heard God say. You hear me? It ain't him doing it. He separates the devil from God, from the woman, from Adam. He goes on and says, now listen, check, this is verse 22. And the Lord God said, behold, the man has become as one of us. Now this person is quoting God. This person identified himself not as God earlier, but now in 22 it says, and the Lord God said, behold, the man has become as one of us, to know good from evil. In Genesis chapter 1, he talks about God. In Genesis chapter 2, he talks about Adam and Eve. In Genesis chapter 3, he talks about the devil. And in the part where he talks about the devil, he now says, now. Now he mentioned the devil in Genesis chapter 3. Now the man knows good and evil. What did the man know first then? What did he know first? He knew good. The man knew good, right? Because he learned evil. Are you with me? I mean, this. And always remember there's a third person here. Almost a fifth person, in fact. And he goes on to say, now listen to this. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the garden, talking about God, right, of Eden, to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, from the word in Hebrew karib, to mean next to something, close to him. Cherubims, with flaming swords. Wait a minute. Man is in a garden that God planted himself. Some being is talking about this garden and about man being in this garden, and talking about a devil that's also in this garden. And then talks about angels that God put in front of this garden to keep people out of the garden. Again, the question should come up. Who is this person or this thing that lived under the water, that monitored God and monitored God's words and heard the discussion between, guess who? The woman and the devil. No, he said here, and the woman, this is Genesis chapter 3, verse 2, and the woman said unto the serpent. Now he's standing there and listening like this. No church never told me about somebody standing there. I was told there was a tree, a serpent, and a woman. Nobody told me somebody was standing there going like this. But the Bible tells you that. The Bible tells you somebody standing there. Listen, it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of every fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree of the garden which is in the midst of the garden, God said, this is what the person heard. God said, who is this person? Take that back to church. And the Muslims have it in the Quran, the same story. Take that back to your imam and ask him, who's watching the story? It's like the Jesus story. You remember the Jesus story? And Judas? What happened to Judas? Any one good Christian or ex-good Christian. What happened to Judas? He hung himself? Somebody, well, let's just use one story at a time. How did the story go? Why? He felt bad, and he went back to the room, threw the money down. Go ahead. I have to add it because I want everybody here. They can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Supposedly he killed himself because he felt guilty because he portrayed Jesus or Yeshua.
That's right. And he went and threw the money down and went out and got a rope and he went to a tree and what? Was he alone or was somebody with him? So who wrote that? Who watched it? How? You hear what I'm saying? If this is true, who was keeping the record? Somebody was walking going, threw down the coin. Got the rope. You understand? He's looking for the tree. He found the tree. He's tying a rope on the tree. He hung himself. And then they stuck it in your Bible. Ask yourself, go back and read the story and ask yourself, who wrote that? Who wrote the Job story? Where God was there, the devil was there, the angels was there, and Job. And Job was being abused. Now, God was there, the devil was there, the angels was there, all the heavenly hosts, and Job and his family. Who wrote the story? Who was watching Job's supper? Are you hearing me? Who was the person who saw Muhammad go into battle and lose? For the Quran, for the Muslim in here. The Quran speaks directly about Allah, and then it speaks about Muhammad, and then it speaks about Gabriel. Anyone who does not love Gabriel or Michael is an enemy of Allah. I thought you said Gabriel was the Quran. Let's try it again. If Gabriel brought, the angel Gabriel, brought the Quran to Muhammad, how can Gabriel say anybody who's an enemy of Allah, anybody who's an enemy of Michael is enemy of Allah. He would say, anybody who's enemy of me and Michael. So now, who wrote that verse? It didn't come from Allah, but from Allah's universe. It didn't come from Gabriel, he's universe. It didn't come from Michael, he's universe. It couldn't come from Muhammad, or he's universe. But we don't bother to investigate these types of things. And these are the tricks that are messing our minds up. These are the things that are making us racist. These are the things that are making people blow up World Trade buildings and assassinate people. These are the type of doctrines that tell people, I don't like what that Imam Isa is saying, we got to go kill him. Because the thing is, stop him from talking before he wakes me up. Because we were the fastest growing religion in the world, Islam. And now we're not that fast. We had planned to take the whole world, and now we're not going to be able to do that because some fanatic called Imam Isa became Malachi, and he's kicking us in the butt with facts. And Christians are mad too, because I can dance through this book and just about go to any point and read it and just go, when are you going to see that it don't make no sense? And then the ultimate is, please tell me, why is it necessary? Meaning this, why is the Bible or the Quran necessary at all? Someone tell me. Stay up a minute.
In the Bible it says all scripture is worthy of reproof for the edification of the body.
Beautiful. Why is it necessary was the question. That's a beautiful statement. Give him the mic. Why is the Bible necessary at all, I'm trying to say?
It is necessary for the edification of your spirit, soul, and body.
Okay. Is there a connection between man, God, and his spirit? Let me go to say before you answer. St. John's chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things was made by him. There was not anything made was made without him. In him was the life, and the life was the light of man. Light shined in darkness, darkness comprehended not. There was a man sent from God, his name was God. I mean, you know, I wrote the Bible. I was the one watching. Now, listen, that's a joke. According to this here book, there's a connection between man and God. The spiritus of man and God, there's a connection because God said, I created man and I blew into man of mine, and man became a living. So man is already spiritually in contact with God at all times. So why does he have to make an external communication when there's already an internal communication? Why is this book or the Quran, why is it necessary at all if every living creature already has a spiritual connection to God, a direct telephone line, not a beeper? Got God's personal telephone number, and you communicate with God directly at all times. Why is the Bible necessary? Tell me. Somebody try. Oh yeah, huh? No, I understand that side of it. I'm speaking to the Christian, the Muslim, or the Jew who believes in the Bible. If you don't believe in it, then please don't answer. But you're going to say the same thing I say. I'm asking my brothers and sisters that are enslaved into this crap to give me some logical answer why they are believing this thing. Why is it needed? Listen, why doesn't God do this? And all evil is gone. Don't tell me in due time, because God lives beyond time. Time is based around sun, moons, and stars. Why is there evil? Why is there AIDS? Why? Can you talk to me about that? Why is there suffering? Why is there caste? Why is there blindness? Why are there cavities? If you are, that may sound funny. I ain't finished though. When I put the cap on, you'll see what I'm saying. Why are there cavities if you are in the image, in the likeness of God, unless he has cavities? Why are there blood diseases unless you can tell me that God can have a blood disease? If not, this book lies. Because it said, I created man in my image and after my likeness. Image, He means he looks like me physically. Likeness, he acts like me. Have you ever had a headache? I don't mean your wife. Have you ever had a headache? Or your husband? Have you ever had a headache? Yes or no? Does God get headaches? According to his Bible, yes. Does God get diarrhea? According to his book, yes. Now, why do we need him? Why do we need God if God is not doing anything for us? And I'll tell you, you may not feel it, but if you had a relative who was on a plane and it crashed and 200 people died and one lived and it wasn't your relatives, you'd be asking, why God? Why my wife died and that person lived? Why do incidents like that happen? Why are we in this state of mind? Why are we even at this point in time where we're questioning? You know why? Because it's time to question. And if it doesn't stand up to the questioning, then it's got to go. And it doesn't stand up to the questioning. You hear me? This got to go. Unless you can get up here, and anybody who wants to, who's capable, can get up here and let us ask you some questions. I'll sit down there. And I want you to open this Bible, and I want you to show me, first of all, why does God need a New Testament? Why does he have to use something new? That's like me. I got to get a new car because my old car don't work. So why is he getting a New Testament? Shouldn't it be a continuate testament? You hear me? That tells you it's man. New concepts, new ideas. Christianity is nowhere near what Jesus practiced. Jesus was an Israelite of the tribe of Judah, a Nazarite, very strict. You hear me? He didn't know nothing about your holy roller Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, spirit chasing, tambourine slapping, fried chicken, pork chop, eating, chiseling, sucking bull crap. He ain't know nothing about that crap. He don't know, this is stuff you made up because you got a New Testament. You started new testifying and based it on baptism, right? And said baptism removes all sin. Is that what they say? And tell me why Jesus got baptized. He never had a sin. It's lies. This is all lies. Yeah, you got one? Yeah, the Old Testament.
The Old Testament is the circumcision of the flesh.
Okay.
The New Testament is the circumcision of the heart.
Okay. So did Jesus get, according to the New Testament, did Jesus get circumcised on the 8th day of his penis?
Yes.
Was that in the New Testament or the Old Testament?
New Testament.
You want to start the story again? Because you said the flesh was for the Old Testament and the New Testament is for the heart. But Jesus got circumcised.
I'm not talking about the difference. No.
No, let me
I'm not talking about the first part of the Bible and the second part of the Bible. I'm talking about the covenant.
Okay.
The Abrahamic covenant versus the blood covenant.
Okay.
Not versus, but and the blood covenant.
But
both of them together.
The word covenant in the Bible is Berith Milah. Berith Milah. And it comes from the word to cut something. Zahaba, where they cut the foreskin with a straight knife that's 6 inches. You follow? This custom was not an Abrahamic custom because Abraham had no customs of his own. Abraham was a Chaldean. He lived in Ur of Chaldea and lived under Babylonian customs, as did all the other Israelites when he was taken into bondage by Nebuchadnezzar. They learned circumcision from the Babylonians, who got it from the Sumerians. You follow what I'm saying? So there is no covenant of circumcision, flesh or heart, that was not taken from the Babylonian traditions. And the God that ruled them is the 6th God in the Jewish calendar, and that is the 6th month of the Jewish calendar, Tammuz. And that's in the Bible. And they tell you in the Bible, in the book of Ezekiel, that the women of Israel sat in the house of Jehovah and cried for the god Tammuz. And the Christians cannot explain why they were crying to a Babylonian god. It tells you in the Bible that all the children of Israel turned away and worshiped the god Baal, Baal Hadad, a Babylonian god. And they can't tell you why they did it. They can't explain these things. Yes, brother.
Robert, can you tell us, Doc, who was speaking under the waters?
Say that again?
Because who was speaking under the waters? Who was under the water? Who was speaking?
Oh, who was speaking under the water?
Yeah,
okay. This as everybody who stepped on my lips when I was talking a little while ago, I had to quiet them up. That was the reptilians who resided on this planet long before the Big Bang. The reason why they call it a Big Bang is because something crashed into the planet and split it in half. This is logged in the Sumerian tablets called the Atrahasis and the Enuma Elish. They recorded these things before the Bible was even recorded, and they have the whole 7 days broken down in the cuneiform, which is the script, wedge script, about an event that took place. Well, beings were living on this planet beneath the water, who you mixed in with, and this is why when you're born, you're in a sack of water before you come onto dry land. And that's why you have gills before you develop your lungs. And that's why when you open your hands like this, you have webs here. And that's why the men can flex here, and women too, but there's a smaller, and we have wings. And that's why our face is set up so we are aerodynamic when we're laying this way, not moving this way. Our lines in our face with the eyebrows and the hair, we move through water, and we swim, and we have fins, and we have wings. We have scales today. So if you don't put no Noxzema or some baby oil on your you know it's true. You call it ashiness, but you can scrape that ash off, and it's a form of scales. You follow what I'm saying? These were beings that mixed in with you a long time ago. You were a reptilian. That's why you have these webs. You follow? And these beings dwelled here on beneath the surface of this planet before there was any dry land here, millions of years before. And I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest mistakes I always say about this Bible is the word gold. It's a big mistake they made when they say in Genesis, and the gold of that land was good. And the planet was just created. Yeah, Genesis here. Genesis, what does it say? Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created in the day which the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. This book declares the generations when the earth was made. You go down, it says in Ethiopia, where the gold, it says in verse 12, and the gold of that land is good. It takes gold millions and millions of years to process itself beneath the ground. Now, how could God have just created the planet and then they find gold somewhere? The planet would have to have been in existence for millions of years for gold to form itself. There's a mistake here. No. Where do people from Nod come from? Who was Cain afraid of when he told God, the punishment is too great for me to bear. Anyone who catches me is going to kill me. And God knew people lived out there, because God said, don't worry about it. Because anybody that does anything, I'm going to put a 7-fold curse on them. Is that right? Okay? So now, if that's true, then God knew that there were other people out there that could kill Cain. Is that right? And Cain went to the land of Nod and got a wife. Is that right? Now, if the Bible says the only people on the planet is Adam, Eve, and Cain and Abel, and Cain killed Abel, where did the wife come from? Who are these people that Cain's afraid of is going to kill him? There are people on the planet way before.